fans, you all know me. You know I try to remain positive about everything and just about anything. But I'm having a little trouble right now with that. You know what? Let's talk our way through it. It does have to do with the coming season, so it is snow sports related. Let's see if we can talk through that on this week's Ski Rex Media podcast. How we doing, everybody? Tim from Ski Rex Media. As you know, if you watch the podcast or listen to the podcast, depending if you are an audio-only fan, thank you again for joining me, or thank you for joining me once again would actually be more accurate, or actually only if you are a repeat listener. Thank you for joining me again, or thank you for joining me if you are new. Either way, please make sure at some point you follow or subscribe on anywhere you can do it. Follow or subscribe anywhere. The audio versions all have follow and subscribe links on all the main or all the major podcast outlets. You can check that out down in the description, either audio or video, depending on which, you could use Spotify. You could use iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. That's the reason I'm bringing up the subscribe stuff so early in the episode. People say you should do it anyway, but I got a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. How awesome is that? So definitely rate the podcast wherever possible, or hit the like button if you watch the YouTube version, the video version, and make sure you subscribe, follow, like buttons, all that stuff. Thank you for doing that. I do appreciate it. I'm sorry that took so long to get through that. But the topic for this week is about staying positive. And I think I'm going to title this, I wish I could stay positive for the season, or trying to stay positive for the season. Something along that. By now you've already seen the title, so you know. Why am I having trouble staying positive? Well, as I was trying to think of what I was going to record for this, and I'm recording this really late. It is 8:39 p.m. on November 17th. That's the night before this comes out. This should be out at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, the 18th. And I was mulling over what I wanted to talk about, and then I see that the Vermont Agency of Transportation has put up signs at border crossings, and I did a quick written piece about it last night, on Tuesday night, just a little while ago from when I'm recording this. If you're watching this Wednesday morning, I did it last night. You'll see it on my social media, which all linked in the description, hashtag shameless plug, and on skirexmedia.com. And it was just a quick blurb about these new warning signs that say, please follow the guidelines, and go to healthvermont.gov to learn about the quarantine guidelines if you're coming to stay. If you're coming, and that's leisure travel, like people like who live here, like me in Vermont. If you have to go back and forth across a border, make sure you're being as safe as you can and following both states' guidelines and all this. But as COVID cases continue to rise, our big open borders and open travel restrictions, or lack of travel restrictions, I should say, it all got pretty lax, and then cases are going up across the country, and now we're all, states are talking about shutdowns again, shutting down, quarantines, things like this, stay-at-home orders. New Mexico said they can't even start their ski season until it passes again. I don't know if you all saw that, but yeah, their ski season is already in jeopardy. The New England ski season was supposed to start this week in some places, but the weather turned. We got some summer weather there for a week, and now we're past that. Snow guns are being turned back on. Killington was blowing yesterday and today. Mount Snow was blowing yesterday and today. Magic got some natural. It was snowing here even a little flurry action. It was coming down. It was pretty nice. It was a nice night out tonight, to be honest. And, because I went for that article I wrote, I went to get a picture of one of the signs, one of the border crossings that one of the initial signs went up is right up the road from here, like 10 minutes, not even. And, pardon me, I just lost my train of thought there for a second, but, like I said, New Mexico might be locked down. And even though we're having a nice night here with snow, and we're going to get our ski season started, which people are already worried about anyway, and slinging hate towards Vermont because the Vermont restrictions are strict. It's strict. Make sure 2 weeks quarantine when you get here, or I think you could do it at home in your state too, I forget offhand, or 1 week with a negative test, and then all the masks and everything. And it's just like, is it going to stay open? And it's hard to stay positive because, like, when you hear New Mexico not opening for skiing right away until it's done, you see stuff out of Colorado. I think I can't remember which county, it might have been Summit County, is right on the cusp of getting their stay-at-home orders again. All these things that could even make a local season very, very difficult, not just for the fans of snow sports, the people who want to participate, but for the mountains. Can they afford another shutdown? I mean, for us in New England, shutting down in March was fine. 90% or 80% of mountains are already shutting down in March. And they make it into April. Sometimes a couple of them make it into June, but very rarely. And so it wasn't so bad, but the industry as a whole took a whooping because of that. And it's got people nervous and throwing hate. That's what I was actually going to get into, is that, people, out-of-staters have been talking about, well, that sucks for Vermont. I'm going to go to Maine. I'm going to go to New Hampshire. I'm going to go to upstate New York. And it's like, man, if it starts in one place, though, and like I said, it's not just here. Like, out west, like I said, New Mexico already said it. You never know when California's going to jump on board. You never know when, Colorado's going to jump on board. The Pacific Northwest might do it too. Nobody's going to be safe from it. Nobody's going to be, not safe, but nobody's going to be exempt from it. It could happen to all of us. There's even a rumor going around that Biden, someone who could work for him once all the votes are counted and whatnot, and once that's finished and set in stone that he is going to be president, said, there's been rumors going around there. He's been talking about a complete 6-month nationwide shutdown. Whether or not that would happen is even accurate. Mainstream media like I know mainstream media. Who the hell knows what's actually going on when it comes to those guys? But and I did get off topic again. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to sort it out in my mind because I'm having trouble staying positive. It's hard for me to think it straight, because someone who champions positivity, a very negative person, an ex-negative person. I was a very negative person for many years, but I try to champion positivity now, and it's hard. It's hard, and not just. I mean, of course, I'm going to liken it or talk about it in the context of snow sports, because that's what I do here. But just like any of you who are fans of skiing, snowboarding, and other snow sports, there's more to you and there's more to me. So it's like I'm thinking, as positive as I've stayed since March, it's just like it's getting hard. And in the context of snow sports, it's like, man, I was ready. I took the opportunity when I had it. I ran south to Big Snow down there in New Jersey. Check that out. That was awesome. My first time back on skis in 6 years, and it was great. And I did really well. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the season. I have my Indy Pass, and I'm watching those mountains, when their opening dates may show, so I can get, buy my advance ticket online. I did just buy, the other day, a Killington Day ticket for December 16th. So as long as they're open that Wednesday, December 16th, I'm there. I got my parking booked. I got my ticket booked. I can go right to the kiosk, get the card, head to the lifts, and boom, my first time back at Killington in 20 years. I was a kid. I was the last time I skied at Killington, I was 20 years old. And, in 1999, and, because of things, I haven't been back except for the races and to hike. Very excited to get back out there and do it and really hammer it out this year. As an Indy Pass holder, they just added 2 more mountains, one in Wyoming and another one here in New York. And not just in upstate New York, but a part of upstate New York I'm familiar with. Oddly enough, though, I did not know there was a ski mountain right there. I was a volunteer at a Methodist camp out there for 4 summers in a row at the turn of the century, and I didn't know there was a ski area 15 minutes from that camp, and there it is. It's like it's so awesome, and it's just like there's this cloud over the awesome, over all that excitement. And again, I'm trying to think, all right, I'll stay local. stay local was not a problem. I got 4 mountains on the Indy Pass that I can mess around with in state if that need be, if they're open, as long as they stay open. And I can work my way onto other mountains. Like I said, I bought a Killington ticket. I could buy tickets somewhere else if I want, and then there's other things I can do. I want to hit some of the earn your turns type little places we have here. Like Hogback Mountain, which was up the road from where I grew up down there in southern Vermont, but even with all those plans and all those excitement, man, it's hard. It's hard to stay positive. It's hard to be like, yeah, it's definitely going to open, guys. This is Tim from Ski Rex Media telling you that the season's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Sure, there's masks and there's gloves and you got to stay distanced and you can't go in the lodge and all this, but who cares, because we'll be out on the hill and that's where we should be anyway. But like I said, there's a cloud. There's that cloud, and it's hard to say all that stuff because it's like, I don't know, and nobody knows. When we'll know? When it's history. 5 years from now, minimum, we'll know. We'll know who was right, what actually worked, what happened, how we recovered, how we grew through it, what it did for us and to us and against us. Time will tell. History will tell. And that's when we're going to know. But right now, I can't even fathom a guess. I guess I could. I could throw out guesses like anybody else. But there's really no point. No point anymore. Because, and again, I was bringing this up in context to those signs we have. And I'll show you the video of it real quick here. Let me show you, because I went driving out, like I said, to get the picture, and I want you to see this. Did I actually already put this up? As I'm recording this in my mind, I knew I wanted to put this video in for the video watchers, but now I don't know if I did it. But it doesn't matter. Watch it again or watch it for the first time. Look at this. And as I'm coming, this is me coming across the New Hampshire border, up in Hanover, New Hampshire, home of Dartmouth College. I came across the border into Norwich, Vermont, and I pulled up to the sign so I get a picture for my written article, and there it is, and it just reminds us that this hasn't gone away, and it doesn't feel like it's going to go away. But does it need to go away, or is it running its course, or are we doing the right things? And again, like I said, we aren't going to know until years down the line, but will we make it to those years down the line? When I say that, I mean the industry. Snow sports, can these mountains, even the big corporate ones, can they survive another shutdown? And will that be enough? There are those who are theorizing that if they're on the brink and they close, that's less revenue the state's getting, so the state will change. They'll put profit over people and let them open back up just so they stay open, because if they stay open, that's tax revenue and so on and so forth. But is that accurate? Is that going to happen? And again, we don't know. We can guess. We can make bets. We can make our guesses as logical or as far-fetched as we want. But in the end, we just don't know. And I want to stay positive, but it isn't easy because I have plans and I knew some of them might not come to pass. Obviously, depending on travel restrictions, I don't know if I'm going to get down with my Indy Pass to Ober-Gatlinburg down there in Tennessee, in Cataloochee, in North Carolina. The big 15-hour drive. Like that could have been cool. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to do the quick New York drive, hit the 3 in New York, or the ones in New Hampshire, or down to Mass or Connecticut, or up in Maine. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do that. I don't even know what I'm going to be able to do here. I can plan, but I don't know. So how can I make this positive? How can I do that? And that's more of a rhetorical question. Obviously, you can answer by using the comments or any other contact info that's in the description for Ski Rex Media. If you want to throw an answer out, that'd be great. But let's try and answer it now. What can we do to stay positive? Number 1, realize that it's not the end of the world. It isn't. If the season's shot, and again, that's worst case. That's worst case scenario, really. That's really how you stay positive, is understanding, and that's how you can stay positive. And again, Ski Rex Media lessons go well beyond snow sports and into your real life. You got to remember that some of this stuff is worst case. Everything shutting down again is worst case scenario. We don't know if it's going to do that. The state lawmakers and guideline makers, they don't know if it's going to happen. But what if it does? What do we do? Number 1, it's not the end of the world. It sucks that the mountains and the people who work for the mountains are going to be affected if they're closed down. because that is less money for everyone. And people, financially, we need to be financially, stable as we can be, economically stable. But it isn't the end of the world. We can bounce back. Absolutely. That's a positive thought. There's other ways. Like I said, I had my bit I wanted to do. Around here, there's tons of farms with cleared land up sides of hills, and good size hills too. 200-foot vertical, 300-foot vertical, and the vertical doesn't even really matter. It's not about how much vertical you get. It's the fun you have. So can we make our own fun? And again, it sucks that some of the skiers or resorts might have to, they're looking over their shoulder and watching their own backs. But as a backup plan, have your fun out on these little hills. Someone's hill, someone's backyard hill. If you're if you're a place that has a real backcountry, if you can do it, like Vermont does have a big backcountry scene. Other places do. We have some, obviously, but not as much as other places. Get into that. Obviously, do it safely. Learn the backcountry game from someone who really knows how to do it. It can be very dangerous, especially in areas where that are prone to avalanche. That's really dangerous stuff. So make sure you know how to do it. But that is an option. Just getting outside. Maybe taking up cross country. Maybe taking up cross country skating. That's something I learned about recently. I had no idea. Nordic skating, it's called. That's very interesting to me. I don't ice skate. I've never done it. But this could get me into it. What can we do as a positive thought? What can we do to pass the time while we're waiting for things to get back to normal? And that's a positive thought. People have been calling what's going on the new normal, and or when we get back to normal, it'll be as close to normal as we can get. I like to think we're going to be beyond that. I like to think everything's going to go back to the way it was in February. And I remember February, we were having a good time. I was in, the Rivers Casino in Schenectady for my birthday with a bunch of friends. We stopped at a Denny's to eat. We had a good old time, and it was, no care in the world anymore that we might catch a cold because it's winter, cold and flu season. That was it. Those are positive thoughts. I want to be positive. I want you to be positive. So here's what actually makes more sense. Since that is all worst case scenario, we'll play it, and we all have to play it by ear as the ski resorts are doing. And I've been saying since, in the summertime, make sure, plan for locals, plan for local days, plan for a local ski season. If you live in Vermont like I do, stay in Vermont. I have a big Pennsylvania contingent here for Ski Rex Media of fans. The Pennsylvania contingent, and they if they have to stay in PA, they'll stay in PA, man. New Yorkers in New York, New Hampshire's in New Hampshire, Maine and Mass and Colorado and New Mexico, if they can start, California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Utah. Utah's set to open on Friday. And, at one point I heard in recent times, like within the last few weeks, that they had hospitals getting jammed because of cases rising. And it's like, God damn, are they going to be able to open on the 20th? I hope so. I think that's what it is. Keep hope, keep positive. Because even now as I'm talking it out and I think about that's all worst case scenario stuff, and I'm trying to believe it, and it's hard to believe it. I hope you can believe it too. And I hope I can continue to believe it because I want to be out there. Like just going out the night just to take that quick drive up the road and just being out in the snow and the nice cool air, man. It was pretty wonderful. It was pretty wonderful. And I'm ready to hit the mountain. And I think that's it. I think that's the key. I am being negative about it, obviously, and I know a lot of other people are too, but to get back to positivity is to realize that this is a worst case and try not to let it bog you down. Now, I do know that I just can't out and out say, don't worry about it. Believe me, I've had people tell me, you got to stop worrying about some things, and it just pisses you off because in some cases you can't help it. And that's a whole other topic, but I want my season, and know you want your season, and I want you to have your season, and I want us to get there. And I guess what that's going to have to be is make sure we're following the guidelines, quarantines, masks, hand washing. I did that anyway. A little bit of a germaphobe, so I scrub up, We can do it. Lessening gatherings. I know that sucks for some people on Thanksgiving. For me, I don't have a big Thanksgiving gathering, but I do have a party in New Year's I'd like to get to, and a Christmas party, and a birthday party. New Hampshire's booked up. I mean, not New Hampshire. December's booked up crazy for me. Just like October and part of November was. So, I don't know. We'll see. I know this is a solemn downer episode, but you know what? We'll go out on a positive. It's worst case. And now that I've said it, and I've said it over and over again here in the episode, I believe it. I believe it. It's worst case. It's all precautionary, and maybe it's enough. If people follow it and say, all right, I got my negative test, I've stayed inside for a week, now I'll come. Or if we all stay local, or what happens, as long as we don't get to that point of shutdowns again, if we can control it, if we can take control of it. And I know you can't control nature. And again, if you want to have that talk with me, that's something we do outside of Ski Rex Media, the lack of control that man actually has, or humankind as a whole has on nature. That's a whole other theory that I have, and a whole other thing I'll educate you on sometime. If you want, you can ask me about it. That's fine. If we get to ski together, I'll tell you about it on the lift. But that's a whole other thing. I know we can't actually control nature, but we can take control of what's going on around us to maybe minimize all this and get it done. Or maybe, just maybe, excuse me, just maybe, in the end, these cases are going to ramp up. Then everyone will have caught it, and then it'll just go away. I don't know if that's possible. I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but it is probable. It could happen. It could happen. But that happens, then we go for fucking balls, dude. We get out there and we hammer it out. See, that's how you get back to positivity. Talk it out. Think it through. It's all worst case. Sure, they got their warning signs out there. Fine, screw it. We'll follow the warnings. We'll do our quarantines. We'll hang out or not hang out was actually more appropriate. And we'll get it done. And I will see you out there after the new year. That's going to happen. That's how it'll happen. Or hopefully before the new year. Like I said, I got my Killington ticket for December 16th. And I'm so hoping we can use it. I'm so hoping I can use it. I don't have anybody to go with. So if you're going to be at Killington on Wednesday, December 16th, and you want to say hello, I will be out there. My car is very easy to recognize. It says Ski Rex on the license plate. You really can't miss that. How's that for coming back around to positivity? I know I'm having trouble trying to stay positive, so I can't tell you to stay positive, but I can tell you I'm going to fight for positivity. I'm going to continue to try and work and be positive and get through it, because positive is really the better way to go, right? Right. Okay. So I hope, even if it was a bummer, I do hope you enjoyed the episode. If you agree, disagree, have any tips, tricks about positivity, negativity, what you think the season will hold, or whatnot, go into the description. You can leave comments on the YouTube video version, or maybe in some places on the audio version, though I'm not 100% sure. Well, yeah, like in Apple Podcasts, if you can rate it, you can say something right there. Maybe not episode specific, but you can say something. You can go to social media, leave comments on posts, use the DMs. There's the email link. There's the Discord link. All kinds of ways to get in touch with Ski Rex Media. Tell me what you think of the episode. And then if you have anything you'd like to add, by all means. And any other interaction, including the question and answer series, which I'm trying to do again. If you want to ask a question to your boy at Ski Rex Media, go ahead and ask, and I will answer it with a video, which you will get full credit and a shout out. And please like, subscribe, follow, and all that good stuff. The Ski Rex Media podcast, the social media pages, and Ski Rex Media, and or skirexmedia.com. Okay. Thank you once again for joining me. I hope this didn't bum you out too much. I hope you did enjoy it. And I hope you like how I brought it back to a positive at the end, because that's what I do. It always comes back around. You know me. Have a good Wednesday, the rest of Wednesday, or the rest of the week, or whatever day you're listening to or watching this episode. Okay. Take it easy, everyone. I'll see you out there in the winter, because we're going to have a winter. I feel it now. We're going to do it later.